I try and be more than forgiving and fair when it comes to Saints Row because it's my favourite franchise and I like to give it the benefit of the doubt, be respectful, excited, enthusiastic as I possibly can, whilst also being honest. This Saints Row 4 port was a bad idea. I don't know why it's gone the way it has. I don't mean to be disrespectful in any way because I do think this is a nice gesture, and the way I kind of know it's a nice gesture is if you look at the pricing. The re-elected edition is basically the same price as the Game of the Century edition, so you basically get it for the exact same price, just with some visual upgrades. So I do think it was done in kind of good faith in getting a better version on there, but that's failed. This version is not better, it is broken. So half of all the scripted mods just don't work. And that is just really disappointing, because I wanted all the mods to work kind of flush and flawlessly, but they don't. Most of the mods are broken. Now, while the customization mods seem okay, and there are a few mods that do work fine, like the texture mods, like the snow mods, but realistically, no. A lot of the mods are broken still, and they don't work. But, to be a bit positive, graphically, it's an improvement, and my frame rate is around the same as before with a graphical improvement, so hey, it's not completely awful, but the mods aren't working, it's just a bit of a bummer. And then, to move on, the co-op doesn't seem very stable. I've dropped out 3 times already, which is why I'm making this video, because this is supposed to be the co-op, crossplay update. That's kind of the point of this, and it doesn't really work, and I can't help but feel a little bit disappointed. I do like Saints Row 4, I would want to play it, but it just seems to not be working. My brother can't even load it through Epic Games. He's claimed the game, he owns it, he can't even launch the title. Meaning that is unplayable on his PC, which is more than capable. It's an issue after another, and then you can't even revert back to the legacy old version with it working. It won't let me revert back to the old version of Saints Row 4, even though that was something that was supposed to be there. It's not looking good. I hate to say this, but how do you mess this up? In the nicest and most respectful way, this is something really easy to get right. And now, I want to just say this is obviously before the comment section goes to it. This has nothing to do with Volition. The port is fine. The game itself, is fine. The actual re-elected version of Saints Row is a fine game. It's just whoever has done the porting across has done an awful job, and I just don't understand it, because it's been on the Windows Store for so long. Surely they could have figured this out. Again, I'm not trying to be super negative, because there are some good bonuses, okay? The game is nice and stable, I haven't had crashes or anything, which is kind of something I've been worried for. Visually, it is definitely an improvement, and I do prefer visually how this game looks, but beyond that, they've messed up the actual porting process. All the compliments I have for this re-elected edition are things I have for the re-elected edition on my Xbox. It's the actual port that's broken. All the mods aren't working, it's more unstable. It's just a bit disappointing, because I really thought that we finally had some good news come in the Saints Row way, a nice enhancement for free. And again, I don't like being Mr. Negative, but it's just a bit disappointing. I don't understand how you can mess it. It's already on the platform. All you have to do is port it to launchers. You know what I mean? It can't be that hard. Now, if a few mods were broken, if a couple mods just didn't quite work, I could understand it, but all scripted mods aren't working. That's a huge category of mods. It's just, I don't see any reason to upgrade, and then on top of that, the whole reverting to the legacy thing isn't working. Okay, this needs an update, fast, okay? I don't know who's going to do it, but this needs to be fixed. It cannot stay at this point. Please do not think that you are done with this port, because it is not at a standard that's acceptable. I don't mean to be mean, but this is not you releasing a brand new title. You know what I mean? I can be more forgiving with the reboot. Even though the bugs were bad in that game, it was a brand new game. I can go, you know what? Fair enough. This is a port of something that already exists. I don't know. I'm not trying to be Captain Negative, and I'm not trying to be all horrible about it. And again, the port itself, the actual game itself, is really good. So when they do fix all these issues, great news. But yeah, it's broken, and it's not ideal. I don't know how this has passed, and I don't know why it wasn't just, I can't believe I'm saying this, why they didn't just delay the port of it. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you have Saints Row 4, the Legacy version, you will have an update. That seems to work fine. I've been able to update it completely okay. It's just broken a few things that were said to not be broken, which is a bit disappointing. But hey, hopefully they can fix it, and hopefully that this is just a weird hitch. But yeah, not to hop on the bandwagon here, but this isn't ideal at all. And again, I do think the version of the game is actually good. Like, when I got into Saints Row and it was all working, even though half my mods didn't work, the game itself was cool. Like, I was having fun. It was Saints Row 4, classic. But, yeah, it needs some serious fixing to do with the workshop stability, and the co-op was also dropping out a lot. That may have been on my end, but I doubt it. Yeah, it's just not perfect, just not ideal, and we still can't revert back to the old one, so that needs to be fixed. But on the bright side, the game itself is cool, so there's that. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you soon.